What if one of the biggest stars in Hollywood ran into someone from his past, someone nobody else even remembered? And what if that person was homeless, but holding a secret that totally surprised Johnny Depp? Crazy, right? Hey there. If you've ever wondered if fame changes people, or if old friendships can survive everything life throws at them, then you're gonna love this story. This isn't some shallow celebrity gossip. It's a true, emotional story about loyalty, loss, and a twist that caught everyone off guard, even Johnny himself. Stick around, because what happened next feels like something out of a movie, only it really happened. So let's go back a bit. Johnny Depp, before the movies, before the red carpets, even before Tim Burton, was just a kid in Owensboro, Kentucky. That's where he met Douglas. A quiet, creative kid from the neighborhood. They bonded over music and art. Played guitar. Made comics. Dreamed about making it big. They were close. Best friends, really. But then, life happened. Johnny's family moved. He eventually got discovered and made it to Hollywood. Douglas? Not so lucky. Years went by. Johnny became a household name. But Douglas struggled, with addiction, poverty, and ended up homeless on the streets of Los Angeles. Now, here's where the story gets wild. A few years ago, Johnny was on a movie set downtown. He stepped out between takes, kind of disguised like he usually is. And then, he saw someone. Someone who looked familiar. He was thin, bearded, clearly having a tough time. But the eyes. Johnny recognized him. It was Douglas. Just imagine that. Two childhood friends. One in designer boots. The other with torn shoes and a shopping cart. So, what do you think Johnny did? Did he ignore him? Pretend he didn't see? Nope. Johnny walked straight up, called him by name, and hugged him. And that hug? Changed everything. Now here's what makes this even more incredible, and what most people don't know. Johnny didn't stop with a friendly hello. He quietly got Douglas a place to stay. Helped him get medical care. Got him into rehab. No cameras. No press. No Instagram posts. Just real help. Experts say that kind of support, especially from someone you knew before everything fell apart, can be a huge moment for someone in recovery. One psychologist from UCLA once said something that really stuck with me. The emotional reconnection to someone who knew them before the trauma can reawaken hope. It's more than charity, it's identity restoration. Let that sink in for a second. Because this isn't just about a celebrity being kind. It's about a person, someone who's lived through the highs and lows of fame, recognizing the humanity in someone who'd been left behind. And that someone? Was once his best friend. Now, here's the part that truly brings a smile to your face. Douglas, Johnny Depp's childhood friend, is doing so much better now. He's clean. He's been through rehab. He's healthier, physically and mentally. And guess what? He's painting again. That spark they shared as kids, the art, the creativity, it's still there. Just waiting to be reignited. He's not in the spotlight, though. And honestly, he doesn't want to be. He keeps things low-key. Focused. Healing. But quietly, and steadily, he's rebuilding his life. Step by step. Day by day. And Johnny? He didn't just swoop in once and vanish. No, he still checks in on him. Every few weeks. A phone call. A quick visit. Just making sure he's okay. Now, I want you to imagine this. You're walking down the street. Rushing through your day. And out of the corner of your eye, you see someone. They're sitting quietly. Maybe holding a cardboard sign. Maybe wrapped in an old coat. You glance again. And something about them seems familiar. You look closer. And suddenly, boom, a face from your past. Someone you rode bikes with. Played video games with. Maybe even sat next to in class. But now, they're homeless. What would you do? Would you stop? Would you say something? Would you even recognize them? It's a heavy thought, right? But that's the exact moment Johnny Depp found himself in. And he didn't freeze. He didn't pretend he didn't see. He walked up, called his name, and gave him a hug. No cameras. No crowd. Just a quiet, powerful moment between two old friends. Now, let's be honest, most of us don't have Johnny Depp money. We can't put someone in rehab with a phone call. But that's not really the point. The real takeaway here is about presence. It's about showing up. It's about reminding someone that who they were still matters. And sometimes, just knowing that you're seen, really seen, can be enough to spark change. Douglas didn't suddenly turn his life around because Johnny gave him money. He did it because someone from his past reminded him of who he used to be, before the pain, before the struggle, before the streets. That kind of emotional lifeline? That's rare. And it's powerful. You know, we often scroll past stories like this and think, wow, that's nice, and then move on. But what if we didn't? What if we actually took a moment to sit with it? To think about the people we've lost touch with? Maybe there's someone in your life who's kind of disappeared a little. You know the type. Someone you used to talk to all the time. Maybe a friend from high school, an old neighbor, a cousin. Someone who was always there, but lately? They've gone quiet. Not because they're angry. Not because they stopped caring. But because life got hard. Things got messy. And they didn't know how to reach back out. We all go through those seasons, don't we? When everything feels heavy. When you're not sure how to explain where you've been or what you've been going through. So instead, you just stay silent. You pull away. And maybe, just maybe, that person is sitting somewhere right now, wishing they had the courage to reconnect. But here's the thing. You could be the one to make the first move. Maybe they're waiting for a sign. A message. A reminder that someone out there still sees them. Maybe you could be that person. And hey, I'm not saying you need to go out and change the world overnight. You don't have to fix everything. You don't need all the right words. You're not a superhero. And that's okay. But sometimes, all it takes is a simple gesture. Just checking in. Sending a short message. Making that random phone call. Even just a, hey. I was thinking about you. That might be exactly what someone needs to hear today. That one small action can say so much more than you realize. It says, I remember you. You still matter to me. You're not invisible. And that kind of thing can bring someone back from the edge. So, here's a question I want to ask you, just something to really think about. If you ran into someone from your past, someone who meant something to you, but who clearly had fallen on hard times, what would you do? Would you glance their way and keep walking? Would you stop for a moment, but hesitate? Not knowing what to say? Or would you take a deep breath, and reconnect? Would you say their name? Ask how they're doing? Give them a hug? It's not always easy, I know. These moments can catch us off guard. They can feel awkward or uncomfortable. But sometimes, those are the moments that matter the most. And if you've ever been on the other side, if you've ever felt lost or forgotten, you know just how powerful it is when someone chooses to reach out. So go ahead. Drop your answer in the comments. What would you do? Would you walk by? Would you stop? Would you help? I really want to know. I read all your comments. Honestly. Every single one. Your stories and thoughts mean more than you realize. And if this story about Johnny Depp and his friend touched your heart even just a little, then you have to check out the video we made about Keanu Reeves and his secret acts of kindness. That man? Quiet. Humble. And honestly, one of the most genuine people in Hollywood. He's done things behind the scenes, no press, no bragging, that are just, wow. You'll see what I mean. And hey, if you enjoyed this story, or if it made you pause and think, consider giving the video a like. It really helps us reach more people with content that actually matters. Content that reminds us that kindness is still out there. And don't forget to subscribe, if you haven't already. We're all about sharing real stories that uplift, that inspire, that restore your faith in people, even when the world feels heavy. And you know what? Maybe today is the perfect day to do something really small, but really meaningful. Maybe it's texting that old friend you haven't talked to in months. Or years. You don't need a big excuse. You don't have to make it dramatic. Just, "Hey, I was thinking about you today. Hope you're doing okay." That's it. It might take you 10 seconds to send. But for the person on the other end, that message might mean everything. It might be the exact thing they needed in that moment. So often, we think we have to make these grand gestures to show we care. But more often than not, it's the quiet stuff, the little check-ins, the thoughtful texts, the random, out-of-nowhere messages, that remind people they're loved. That they're remembered. That they're not alone. And in a world that can feel disconnected, that kind of connection is gold. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Really, thank you. For showing up. For listening. For caring. This space, this community, it only works because people like you are a part of it. So stay kind. Stay curious. Stay open to the idea that one small act, one simple message, can truly change someone's entire day. Or even their life. And never forget, the smallest act of showing up for someone, can change everything.